there's something different in the air over Tyneside. A sense of anticipation has taken over the conversations on social media, the WhatsApp groups among fans, and even behind the scenes at the club. It's that kind of feeling you can't quite explain, but every supporter can sense it. The moves have been discreet, the words carefully chosen, and the silence coming from St. James Park seems to be hiding something big, something that could directly impact the future of Newcastle United's squad. And with each passing day, the clues are becoming more obvious for those paying close attention. If you're one of those passionate supporters who won't settle for vague headlines and want to understand everything that's happening behind the scenes at Newcastle, you're in the right place. Make sure to subscribe to the channel right now. It helps us massively in continuing to bring exclusive information straight from the most reliable sources in European football. And of course, it ensures you're always one step ahead, knowing what truly matters about the Magpies before anyone else. Over the past few days, Newcastle's board have been working quietly, focused on strengthening key areas and preparing for possible exits within the squad. The uncertainty surrounding Alexander Isak's future, for instance, has sparked a series of internal meetings and adjustments to the club's plans. They're still trying to convince the Swedish striker to stay at St. James Park, even amid Liverpool's heavy interest. And manager Eddie Howe has even come out publicly to speak on the matter. But while the spotlight is on Isak, other negotiations have been unfolding in the background, and one of them is close to being finalized. A new signing that could reshape Newcastle's defensive setup for next season. According to journalist Fabrizio Romano, one of the most respected and reliable names in the transfer market, Newcastle United are very close to securing a player who has already given the green light to join the club. And more than that, he's someone who could play a pivotal role within the squad. Romano's revelation, shared via his official X account, formerly Twitter, was clear and straight to the point. Newcastle are hopeful of completing the signing of Aaron Ramsdale in the coming weeks. The English goalkeeper, who currently earns £120,000 per week, is said to have said yes to the club's sporting project and is reportedly excited about the chance to reunite with Eddie Howe, whom he worked with during his Bournemouth days. That personal connection between coach and player might have been the key factor in speeding up negotiations. Ramsdale, now 27, is still considered young in goalkeeper terms, and although he's lost his spot at Arsenal following the arrival of David Raya, he's always remained a respected figure at the London club. In fact, Mikel Arteta has repeatedly praised him in interviews, saying Ramsdale has been exceptional in every way, and highlighting his value within the squad. That trust was one of the key points Romano cited when explaining why Newcastle are moving for him now. It's worth noting that Newcastle's search for a new goalkeeper intensified after their failed attempt to sign James Trafford. The young Manchester City keeper had been a top target for the Magpies board, but talks cooled off and the player slipped out of the club's plans. That was a significant setback, especially considering Trafford's growing reputation in England. But Ramsdale's potential arrival could be a more experienced and immediate solution with long-term upside too. Yes, Ramsdale was recently relegated with Southampton, which might raise some eyebrows among fans. But it's important to remember that team results don't always reflect an individual player's true quality. In this case, Ramsdale's experience with Sheffield United, Bournemouth and Arsenal works in his favour. He knows the Premier League well, has a strong personality, and the kind of charisma that could quickly win over the Newcastle faithful. And if you've made it this far into the video, it's a great sign that you truly care about every decision involving Newcastle United. So here's another reminder, subscribe to the channel now so you don't miss any updates about Ramsdale's potential arrival and every other exciting development in this transfer window. Your support allows us to continue this daily coverage with responsibility and quality. Back to the Ramsdale deal. Internal sources believe Newcastle are simply ironing out the final details before making a formal offer to Southampton. The expectation is that the financial terms will be fair to all parties, especially since Southampton are willing to let the player go, as long as they receive a reasonable compensation. The club have no intention of making things difficult for a player who's already expressed his desire to join St. James's Park. Another key point in this negotiation is the trust Eddie Howe places in Ramsdale. Having worked with him before, the Newcastle manager knows the keeper's personality, his behavior in training, and what he brings to the dressing room. In a transitional period, where the club may lose key names like Nick Pope, having someone trustworthy is crucial for maintaining stability in such a vital position. The goal. Inside the club, Ramsdale's potential arrival is being viewed as a strategic replacement. There's no official confirmation yet regarding Pope's departure, but the club are clearly preparing for that possibility. The goal is to ensure the defensive unit remains solid with a player who brings experience and fits the sporting project. And in that sense, Ramsdale ticks all the boxes. If everything goes to plan, the official announcement could be made in the coming weeks. Newcastle believe that alongside other targeted reinforcements, signing Ramsdale could be a turning point in their season. This transfer window still holds plenty of surprises, and if you don't want to miss a single one, hit the notification bell after subscribing. That way you'll always get our updates first. Finally, let's take a moment to appreciate what this signing could mean for the club's atmosphere. Ramsdale isn't just a technically gifted goalkeeper, he's a team player, with a positive attitude who adds value both on and off the pitch. In a squad trying to establish a new era, that kind of profile is essential. And if Newcastle really are on the verge of landing him, fans have every reason to start getting excited. As mentioned earlier, this report comes from journalist Fabrizio Romano, one of the most trusted voices in world football when it comes to transfers. And if he says Ramsdale has said yes to Newcastle, then something very real is in motion. So that's it for now. If you've made it this far, it's clear that things at St. James Park are far from quiet. On the contrary, a lot is happening behind the scenes. And while most people are still trying to figure out what's going on, you're already ahead of the game. Don't forget subscribe to the channel now, because in the next few hours, we'll be back with more exclusive updates about signings, departures, and the overall strategy at Newcastle. And trust us, you won't want to miss a thing.